right, Justin, so nice catching up with you again. Quick question. Pro-life.
We're not doing media tonight.
Important question, though, Justin. Here, you did media for ATN. Why not us, Justin? Pro-life Liberal candidate Filomena Tassi says that she's not opposed to voting for some sort of version of an abortion law. Will you allow her to run under the Liberal banner?
Any candidate who passed the green light process has committed to vote the party line in respecting a woman's right to choose. Full stop.
That was wonderful on so many levels. First of all, the very witty Faith saying, nice catching up with you. And then that little bald-headed guy sort of helping, quick, run away. If we hide, they'll never find us. Justin Trudeau's rather hard stance on the abortion topic. Well, it's well known, isn't it? He demanded that every Liberal candidate had to be pro-choice. That's pretty much unprecedented, certainly in the Liberal Party. Yet one candidate, Filomena Tassi, in the new Ontario riding of Hamilton West-Ancaster-Dundas, not only pro-life, but a Catholic school chaplain. Now, she's being a bit vague about the apparent contradiction, arguing her pro-life position will not contradict the party. But Alissa Golob joins us from Campaign Life, Catholic school chaplain, pro-life, and she managed to get through. And this is certainly winnable, I would think, for the Liberals. It's a new riding, but knowing the area. So what do you say?
Well, I would say that she's not pro-life. Either Justin isn't properly green-lighting the way that he says, or this lady is not pro-life whatsoever. And even in the Hamilton Spectator article, she says that she is pro-life or for life, but she's not for criminalizing abortion, which is obviously a contradiction. Because
I don't think it is.
Because if you are for dismembering children, then why wouldn't you want to criminalize that act?
I'm pro-life. I wouldn't pass a law tomorrow because you would criminalize millions of people. You could never enforce it. I'd like an education campaign. I question the funding of abortion, certainly, but surely it has to be gradual. We're not going to achieve anything just by passing a law. Well,
the law is a moral teacher, so I think that in order to decrease the numbers, then you have to pass a law, and then eventually that education we definitely have to continue with that. But if you're just going to try and tell people that abortion is wrong, all the while it being completely legal up until the 9th month of pregnancy, then you're not going to ever change.
But there's a difference between passing a law and criminalizing all abortion. I mean, many of us would want a law to be passed. I think most Canadians would want a law to be there, but to criminalize every abortion? I mean, no one would accept that.
You would criminalize the abortionists who are actually doing the abortions. They would be the ones that were going against the law. So yeah, I think that if the unborn are human beings, why wouldn't you have a law that protects all human beings?
Because I'm a realist, and I wish that all people were really nice to each other as well. But
instead we're dismembering them.
I would certainly defund, I would certainly educate, I would certainly pass laws, but I would work towards that. I'm practical. I mean, I don't think a law is going to be passed. But she is, at least to a degree, on your side. Shouldn't we empower her rather than criticize her?
Again, she isn't on our side because she isn't for criminalizing abortion. She also says that the issue is dealt with in the courts, that it's a woman's right to an abortion. So you can say that you're pro-life all you want.
She said that, did she?
She said that in the Hamilton Spectator article. She doesn't even know the basic laws on abortion in our country. And another thing too, she said, was that it will never come up. Well, if it never will come up, then she obviously hasn't been paying attention to politics in the last 4 years since the last election, with Ray's maternal health care motion, with Motion 312, Motion 408, and even on the other side with Nikki Ashton's Motion 510, trying to make abortion equal human rights. So the issue is constantly being brought up just by the media attention surrounding her statements. Demonstrates that this issue is something that people want to talk about and is something that's controversial, and that will be reflected in politics as well.
Dan McTague was in the other day. I was chatting to him in the lobby. He was on another show. Of course, you know, he was a Liberal MP and very much pro-life, and as were others. And the Liberal Party, whatever one's views on economics or foreign policy or whatever, always had a pro-life group, a pro-life caucus within it. And it wasn't inviting to these people, but nor did it restrict them, at least not aggressively. It's changed now. I mean, the NDP has had that position for some time.
Yeah.
Stephen Harper is hardly a friend of the pro-life community, but there are many pro-life Tory MPs. I am very surprised at Trudeau. He could have quietly yet effectively made sure the party was pro-choice. He could have done that, but by making it so explicit, I think he has alienated quite a few people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, now, you know, people who, there was a pro-life Liberals for Life not too long ago, so there were a lot of pro-life Liberals, and he has made it impossible for those pro-life Liberals to vote Liberal. And yeah, like you said, and I think it only is going to work in our favor. And I think that, you know,
when you say our favor, what do you mean by that?
I mean, in the pro-life
favour of the Tory
movement.
party?
No, I mean the pro-life movement's favor, because now that he is when he takes such a staunch stance instead of dancing around the issue, we know explicitly you can't vote for that person.
But where are those people going to go? Because I know the pro-life community. You don't think the Tories are your friends either.
Well, I think our policy has always been to vote for the politician and not the party, but Justin Trudeau has made it completely impossible for us to do that. So defeating him will ultimately be a pro-life win.
You're going on a speaking tour, aren't you, to bash Trudeau? You're a cruel girl.
That was private, Michael.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forget that then.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, pro-lifers, a lot of especially older people have always voted Liberal, even if they were pro-life.
Particularly from maybe new Canadian backgrounds. I think,
and remembered his father and respected his father and liked his father and would vote Liberal no matter what. So we need to educate people who do believe that all humans should have human rights and completely detract the vote from Trudeau because he is so extremely pro-abortion.
New Brunswick didn't seem to make a huge difference, but
No.
I don't know. I think there are people who have routinely voted Liberal, particularly from, as I mentioned, sort of ethnic Catholic backgrounds, who may think again. You're going to have your work cut out for you, but I don't think it's impossible. I think there could be a sizable number of people who say, I'm just not going to vote this time, which could be enough in some areas to make sure the Liberals don't win. So
we can only hope.
Just being foolish about this one. I don't know. I mean, predictions are very easy. The reality is much more difficult. But I do wonder why Justin Trudeau was so aggressive on this when he could have achieved his own ends without being so. As always, a great pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Michael.